Hi there and welcome to PTP TV on a beautiful sunny Friday afternoon in town. Now I've just done a site visit of the hotel behind me at the bottom of Park Lane, the Intercontinental Hotel, because I'll be here on Sunday for Dahlia and Elisha's big fabulous Jewish wedding. And I thought it'd be useful just to talk through very quickly why your wedding photographer should do a venue visit, site meeting, recce, whatever you want to call it, ahead of time before the actual big day. Now, there's a couple of reasons why it's really important that your photographer is familiar with your venue. If a photographer is running around on the day trying to find a particular room to be in or trying to work out where he or she should be at a particular time, that's a photographer who isn't organized and basically doesn't know what they're doing, which is obviously not what you want. So that's the first thing, is by doing a venue visit ahead of time, the photographer can walk around, get an idea, get the layout of exactly where the different elements of the day are going to be, so that on the day they know where they've got to be. Okay. Secondly, it's really important that the photographer gives himself or herself an opportunity to look at the venue in a different light to how it's going to be at the actual event itself. So essentially letting our creative juices flow, for want of a better phrase, that we can see certain angles, certain shots, certain exposures in our mind, that on the day we're going to be so busy just getting everything that we might not stop and think about particular beautiful spots to put the bride and groom in, say, for the portrait photo shoot. So that's another really good reason why your photographer should do an advance visit to the venue to get to know it, so that on the day, when you have that window of time, and we've talked about this before, when you have that window of time to take the bride and groom away for half an hour, 10 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, that they've got a few shots in their head that are going to be suitable for portrait shots. Now, lastly, although it's really important what I've just said, the first two reasons why a site visit is such a good idea, equally, don't get to know your venue too well. So you don't want a photographer who says, oh yeah, such and such a hotel, I shoot there all the time, I always do this photograph here and I do that photograph here, and it's like a McDonald's, whichever capital city you are in the world, you order a Big Mac, say you're going to get exactly the same amount of lettuce or sauce or whatever. Okay, wedding photography should never ever be like that. That's a default wedding photography principle. It's got to have an element of creativity and personality, so that when the photographs are taken and when they're delivered to the client looks at those pictures and goes, well, that's our wedding, because the photographer had a bit of creativity and had a bit of space to do what they wanted to do, and that they didn't just rock up at such and such a venue and always get certain shots here, certain shots there. You really need to avoid that. It's a very important element in choosing your photographer, is that you don't choose someone who always does this hotel, always does the group shots here, always does these pictures here. You've got to allow that creative process a bit of freedom and frankly a bit of creative license to be different each time. Like the last post I did after Natasha and Yoni's wedding, where the personality of the bride and groom is really stamped on that wedding, then the photos have got to reflect that. So you don't want a photographer who's always sticking to certain spots for certain images. Okay, so hopefully that's of help. You can follow all of my PTP TV episodes on loveptp.tv. It's also on my YouTube channel. If you've got any comments or questions, hit me up, let me know. Recommend a friend who you think should watch these episodes, and stay in touch. Okay, big love.